Okay, and then I think we are all set to go here. Let's just quickly go through this game here. So, all right, so our game is called Galaxy of Tanks. We have a little solar system of planets revolving around. We set the camera kind of just to rotate around this object, these set of objects here. Press enter to start. We have our level intro showcasing the planet. So on our first level, this is just kind of a little tutorial. We have our goal text to shoot all the targets, a little counter to indicate how many targets we have left. Kind of keep going through here. So W and S to move around, A and D to rotate. Do also have the camera that we can move around as well to kind of help with that. Okay, great. All right, so that's kind of like the first part of the tutorial. So now we have a text scene kind of giving us a little breakdown on the story. So suddenly Domum is overtaken by the Ravagers, a group of space pirates exiled long ago. Turn to take Domum as their own. You must fight them off. So we press enter. We're set to go here. So now we have to fight off the roamers. We actually have quite a lot of them. They're all coming towards us. So, I mean, essentially at this point, like trying to fight them off, there's just a little too many. That's kind of the point. You are kind of supposed to lose this level. So when you do, you tried to fight off the Ravagers, but you were overpowered, and the Ravagers actually exile you to a far-off planet. And are you going to be able to make it back home? So we go ahead and press enter. Now we go ahead and kind of go into our first real level here. So now we have to find a way off the planet. We basically have to try to get back home. So going through here, we kind of come across the roamers. So kind of to demonstrate their behavior here, they kind of have two different states. So their default state is that they'll kind of be staying still. But if we get close enough to them, they will start to move towards us, shoot their bullets in a forward direction, and they will always be rotating towards our position. We can go ahead and just kill that guy. So going ahead here, now we are using a terrain here, and the hero tank is supposed to be aligning to it. I actually have a function to pass in a max height for the hero tank so that it'll only ascend to a certain height on the terrain, so we can't go over this and see what's going on with that. Okay. Let's go ahead and go onward here. All right, so what we have coming up here, I actually have an invisible collision box that when we pass through that, it's going to trigger some kind of event that we can pass in. I'm about to pass it here. There we go. So the roamers are guarding a teleporter, and we can actually, if we go ahead and kill them all, we'll actually be able to activate that teleporter. And now you can see there's a little shield around our hero tank, so when we go ahead and get hit by that, we will actually... will basically become invincible for a couple seconds, so any damage that comes in won't be able to hurt us. But there we go. So they are all gone, so now we can go ahead and take this teleporter and go in there. So now we're taken to basis, and we discover a Ravager enemy base, and we plan to blow that up before we return home. So now we have to destroy the Ravager base. So once we're in here, we actually come across a door that we actually can't get through, but we can go ahead and if we grab this key, that'll go ahead and open up the door there. So there are a multitude of keys. Basically each key is kind of assigned to its own door. So now we have a self-destruct mechanism. We have to activate all these switches just by touching into them to activate the bomb. And then once we do all that, the teleporter will also open up as well. So we kind of just go through this little area and try to find... Oh, okay. Try to go through the area here and find all of the... find all those switches. So there's another locked door. So we need to find a key for that. We also have some roamers kind of moving around here as well that we'll have to fight off. Oh gosh, okay. Okay, so now that we've activated all the switches, that activates the bomb, and now we can go ahead and take the teleporter to basically get out of here. Kind of get back home, and then we can fight the boss. Alright, with the Ravager base now destroyed, we are able to return to Dome, and that is where the main boss, the mothership, is going to be waiting for us. So now we head back home, and this is the boss fight. So you'll notice that there is a function for the player cam to actually keep the boss always in position. So we can always keep focused on it, which is great, really convenient. The boss is firing these enemy bombs, which actually kind of track our position. So if we're not moving, those are going to be coming directly towards us. Kind of track our position, keep moving around, although those ones are coming a little too far away. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so those will just kind of keep tracking our position. The mothership also has a shield coming around it every few seconds, kind of like our shield, so if we try to fire at it right now, it won't really do anything. It's only when it actually puts it down that we can actually start to fire. I'll let myself die so I can do the lose screen. So when you die, you can press enter to try again or Q to quit. So we can go ahead and press enter, and there we go. So now going in, I'll just go ahead and try to actually kill the boss right now. And basically that yellow bar, we're using the HUD, we're using the images there. So once we get down to that yellow bar, that's kind of going to trigger the second phase of the boss. It's using the FSM, and the roamer's using the FSM as well. Okay, so now that we've done that, now the boss is actually going to be following us for the rest of the time that it's alive, and it's also going to be firing those enemy bombs in basically for infinity until it's dead, and its shield is also going to be up a lot longer. So now we have to go ahead and try to take it down. Okay. Yeah, so now it's basically just forcing us to kind of keep moving around. Ooh. Okay. Hopefully I'll be able to pull this off here. Okay, there we go. And we win. So we can press enter to play again or Q to quit. And that'll take us right back to the title screen. Okay, so that is the game, basically. Kind of going through the document a little bit. Oh, wrong thing. Here we go. So kind of outlining the storyline for each of the levels. We also have a bit of a timeline of kind of what goes on in each of them. A little bit of a layout for each of the levels themselves, kind of some visual representations. A lot more detail about the player and the enemies, as well as the different objects that we'll encounter. So we had our teleporter, key and key door, bomb switch, the targets, kind of our projectiles, and then the characters themselves. A game flow diagram kind of going through each of the different screens and the different outcomes that can come from those, whether you lose or win, or when you press these different keys, what'll happen. And then we have the menu interfaces and our controls, and then all of the different assets in our schedule here. So I think that's kind of basically the gist of it here. Let me see if there's anything in particular that I might want to try and go through.